Manuel Arevalo loves his car. He's had it more than 10 years and keeps it in good shape. But on a windy night in November, his prized Volvo took a hit.
That night it was high winds, real dark. The light was whipping to the right and left.
Manuel was at Callahan and Ingram Roads. He says the wind somehow snapped the wires that help hold the traffic lights and they fell on his car.
I thought somebody threw a rock or something at me.
The damage to his car was estimated to be near $2,500, but that didn't concern him much at the time because the officer who took the report said the city would take care of it.
They got the denial letter.
But you could say divine intervention got in the way.
Castillo told me it was an act of God that they weren't going to pay.
Manuel says he did exactly as he was told and he called the city. He says the city blew him off, so he called us. And when we called the city, they picked up the phone.
City Public Works issued this statement. Although the city is under no obligation to pay for property damages under the law, the city has decided to settle this claim by Mr. Arevalo for this unique accident. Our city staff reviews and investigates every claim carefully in order to determine whether or not the city will pay individuals for damages. So we consider Manuel's issue resolved. If you have an issue that needs to be gone with the wind, call me 377-8647 or send an email to ewtk@kens5.com. Maybe we can help blow it off for you. Gary Cooper, Eyewitness wants to know.
Good morning, Fred and Vicky. Around 3 o'clock this morning, witnesses say they saw a blue Nissan weaving in and out of lanes on Military Drive on the city's south side at a high rate of speed. From there, the car turned south on Mission Road, and that's where the driver apparently lost control, struck a light pole, and somehow the car ended up on its side. Now, when police arrived, they found the driver, 37-year-old Jose Antonio Hernandez, dead from injuries stemming from the accident. Police still don't know what may have caused the wreck, but they are not ruling out alcohol as a potential factor. There was a lot of damage sustained to the vehicle at the scene, and power lines fell on top of the car, which made rescue efforts that much more difficult for EMS crews and personnel. Now, a passenger has been identified as 37-year-old Jennifer Castillo, and she was taken here to University Hospital via AirLife, where at last check she was in critical condition. We're live in the medical center. Gary Cooper, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.
A police officer stopping to help two stalled cars on the freeway found himself in the middle of an accident that nearly cost him his life. Around 2:30, Officer Michael Thornton was hit by a suspected drunk driver during a traffic stop. The impact of the crash was so severe it cost him a limb.
The driver of a pickup truck struck the officer, pinned in between his car and the patrol car, and in turn, it struck the other two vehicles that were in front of the patrol car. The officer's his leg was severed as a result of that accident.
When the accident happened, Officer Thornton found himself hanging on the side of the freeway. Luckily, the two motorists he was helping initially ended up helping him instead.
He was thrown up in the air and over the Jersey barrier. He was fortunate enough to be able to hold on with his arm, and the two people that he was assisting pulled him back over the Jersey barrier by his belt.
Thornton was rushed to Brooke Army Medical Center. He is expected to be okay, but doctors say his foot is gone, and they're still trying to save part of his leg. Meantime, the driver who police say caused the devastating crash, 24-year-old Kevin Baldit, was arrested for DWI and is still in jail with a bond set at more than $160,000. Chief McManus has seen his officers hit by suspected drunk drivers 3 times in the last 4 months. This latest casualty, Officer Thornton faces months of surgery and rehabilitation.
Is this going to step up y'all's efforts even more? What
Well,
kind of chain reaction are we going to see?
We arrested nearly twice the number of drunk drivers in 2010 as we did in 2009. It's frustrating that our officers are injured out here by people who are drinking and driving when it doesn't have to happen.
Gary Cooper, KENS 5, Eyewitness News.